The 5 hidden triggers that immediately make people respect you. The greatest asset you possess isn't your talent, your knowledge, or your work ethic. It's your social standing. It's the intrinsic, unspoken value that other people assign to your presence. And for too many capable, deserving people, this value is set tragically low. Not because they are insufficient, but because they are accidentally sabotaging themselves with a series of well-intentioned, yet deeply corrosive habits. Think of it like this. Your self-worth is a powerful transmitter, and your daily actions are the broadcast signal. If that signal is weak, static, or perpetually available, the world treats you like a generic background hum. It's the paradox of effort. The more readily available and helpful you are, the less valuable your help becomes. Today, we're not talking about aggressive manipulation or artificial confidence. We are discussing the 5 principles of perceptual magnetism. These are psychological levers that, when deliberately engaged, force others to naturally elevate your status. The result is instant, organic, and often disconcerting, because the very people who took you for granted will suddenly start treating you like someone they genuinely fear losing. We'll break this down into 3 core sections: the currencies of respect, the language of status, and the ultimate leverage. If respect is money, then your time and attention are the gold and silver. How you distribute them defines your wealth. Why does the world treat your time as a low-cost commodity? Because you've priced it that way. You've made yourself the equivalent of an office supply, always stocked, easily accessed, and rarely given a second thought. Consider the difference between a mass-produced item and a limited edition museum piece. The museum piece is only available under specific curated conditions. You must wait. You must be granted access. You must adhere to its rules. You need to transition your presence from the office supply drawer to the velvet rope. This begins with managing your responsiveness. When a text message arrives, when a notification flashes, or when a person calls your name from across the room, do you reflexively snap your head up? Do you interrupt your own focus activity to instantly satisfy the external demand? If so, you are training the world that their momentary whim is more important than your internal focus. The fix is measured delay. You are the sovereign conductor of your focus. When interrupted, finish the sentence you are reading. Complete the thought you are organizing. Allow a silent, deliberate pause 2 or 3 seconds before smoothly and completely pivoting your attention. This micro delay is a profound psychological adjustment. It doesn't signal disrespect. It signals depth. It communicates that your inner world is engaged in important matters and that they must wait for you to gracefully surface. When people realize they have to wait a moment for your attention, they value the moment they receive it infinitely more. The human brain loves to simplify. It's a relentless classification engine that quickly moves from assessing individuals to filing them away. Once someone has labeled you as the quiet one, the consistent helper, or the people pleaser, they stop paying attention to you. You cease being a person and become a predictable utility. There's no mystery, no challenge, and therefore no engagement. To command attention, you must become the unpredictable variable. You must intentionally and occasionally break the established blueprint. If you have a reputation for always being the most agreeable person, this is where you insert a thoughtful objection. Don't be argumentative, be opinionated. Say, I see the value in that, but I have a counterpoint we should explore. If you are the person who has never denied a request, you must now deploy the powerful, polite refusal. Not a panicked, over-explained no, but a simple, confident, I can't commit to that right now, or that is outside my current priority scope. Disruption is what makes people pay attention. It forces a cognitive dissonance in their minds. They thought they had you figured out, and suddenly you have defied their expectations. This is how you move from being a static background channel to a live, engaging signal. It is how you shift from being a low-resolution snapshot to a high-definition movie that demands their full attention. The minute they have to think about who you have become interesting. Our verbal habits often leak status and signal deference without us even knowing it. The words we choose are not just conveyors of information. They are architects of our social persona. The most common yet devastating verbal leak is the compulsive apology. We apologize for needing clarification, for taking up 5 minutes of a coworker's time, or for existing in the same physical space. Every single time you use sorry in this way, you are subtly submitting a verbal fine, admitting guilt for a non-existent crime. You are training people to believe that your presence is an intrusion and that you require their tacit permission to operate. This habit must be extinguished and replaced with a language of assumption. You are going to exchange the currency of submission for the currency of acknowledgement. When you are delayed, do not say, "I'm so sorry I'm late." That word forces them into the role of judge. Instead, make the gratitude pivot. State, "Thank you for your patience," or "I appreciate you waiting for me." You flip the narrative from guilt to gratitude, from apologizing for your mistake to acknowledging their positive action. This position of acknowledgement is significantly more authoritative. Similarly, stop introducing your questions or opinions with a conditional apology. Never say, "Sorry to bother you," but instead, confidently use a clear transition. "I need your input on this," or "One moment, I have a different perspective." This small linguistic correction asserts your right to ask and to speak. You are not begging for a window of time. You are scheduling an exchange of ideas. In conversation, most people mistake speed for competence. They rush to fill every moment of quiet, believing that a pause is a sign of weakness or confusion. This anxiety-driven rambling makes them sound desperate, like they are over-explaining to win approval. High-value communication operates on the opposite principle. It leverages the psychological power of the void. Silence is a vacuum, and most people cannot help but lean into it and attempt to fill it, both physically and psychologically. When you are asked a significant question, do not jump into the answer immediately. Treat your words like precious stones being placed on velvet. Pause. Allow the silence to stretch just beyond what feels comfortable for them. 2 to 3 seconds of deliberate quiet demonstrates profound control. This pause serves 2 functions. First, it makes your answer feel weightier. It suggests that you are not simply reacting, but deeply processing and curating a quality response. Second, it shifts the need onto the listener. They become the ones who are waiting, anticipating your release of information. You are holding the conductor's baton, and your silence is the preparation for the symphony of your ideas. When you talk slowly, you assume authority. When you rush, you assume a need for validation. The difference is immediately palpable. The final principle is the firewall of self-respect. It is the defining boundary that sets the truly respected apart from those who are merely tolerated. Respect is not a gift you wait for. It is a negotiation you enter, and the strongest negotiating position is always the one with the most optionality. The person who needs the current job, relationship, or social setting the least is invariably treated the best. This is the law of optionality. It means you live your life with the quiet, firm conviction that you are fundamentally okay if the current arrangement dissolves. When someone disrespects your boundaries, ignores your value, or treats you with contempt, the natural human reaction is to engage, to argue, to plead your case, or to over-explain why they should be nicer. But fighting for respect is the definitive signal that you are dependent on their approval, which only hardens their resolve to diminish you. The highest expression of self-respect is not a loud argument. It is the silent, measured withdrawal. When treated poorly, stop arguing. Stop debating. Do not try to convert them. Simply activate your exit key. State with a calm, neutral tone, "I see that this conversation is no longer constructive," or "I am going to remove myself from this dynamic." Then you physically leave the conversation, the room, or the relationship. This is the ultimate psychological shock. They assumed your dependence on them was a fixed variable. They thought they could treat you any way they wanted because you had nowhere else to go. The second you demonstrate that your self-regard is your highest loyalty and that you are willing to sever the connection to protect it, their entire perception of your worth implodes and reforms. It shows them non-verbally that you are not a captive audience. It forces them to respect you immediately, not out of admiration, but out of the sheer, primal fear of losing access to you. You have spent years accidentally creating a self-limiting pattern. Today, that pattern ends. You don't need to transform your personality. You need to recalibrate your outward behavior. Start with the scarcity of attention. Make people wait a few seconds for your focus. Then introduce the unpredictable variable by occasionally, politely saying no or dissenting. In conversation, use the gratitude pivot to eliminate unnecessary apologies and engage the gravitas of silence to lend weight to your words. Finally, build your life around the law of optionality, knowing that you are always ready to walk away from disrespect. Do not wait for permission. You have all the power you need right now. Implement just one of these 5 principles today and watch the subtle, undeniable way the world shifts to meet your new terms. You just elevated your game. Now, if you found value in this deep dive into personal psychology, subscribe for more content on mastering your own influence. Go out there and command the respect you deserve.